Morning, Mikey. RDJXYZ. Pardon me. Good morning. Oh, delicious. Top of the morning to you, too. Joseph, good morning, good sir. And everybody else, good morning. Welcome to our morning market update, and let's get started and have some fun. It's time to have some fun. All right, so here I am. Let me just turn the camera a slight little bit. Let's kick it off today with saying that the morning markets are up across the board. S&P 500 futures up 0.3%, Nasdaq up 0.6, Russell up 0.4. We look like we're firmer into the equity complex as we head into the FOMC tomorrow, which is great. European markets are kind of mixed, some up, some down. Not really major moves though overnight. Bitcoin is flat around 88,000. Ethereum's up 0.2%, and that's kind of where we're just sitting. A few things are kind of holding the tone and the narrative overnight, but nothing really big, nothing major, no escalation. It's just sort of the same old. It's just sort of blah. It's there. Everything is existing. There's no real big updates. The JPY situation is interesting out of Japan, the intervention. The intervention watch continues. USD Japanese yen flash crashed lower from 154.49 to 153.16. It wasn't really a flash crash, but it went down pretty quick. All right, in minutes, now trading at 153.90. To me, a flash crash is like a big drop in a short period of time, way bigger than that, like a couple hundred pips. But still, the dollar Japanese yen pair having dropped that much means the Japanese yen is strengthening while the dollar is weakening, which weakens the tariff impact that the United States intended to have. Also strengthens their currency, which makes the carry trade sort of a little more painful and more expensive when you're borrowing the yen. So you have to sell some U.S. equity maybe to reduce your leverage and or to pay the higher interest rate, right? So there's a lot going on in Japan. It's on watch. It's starting to kind of spread the news and propagate throughout media and starting to reach the Western front. We've been talking about this for like 2 weeks. So I'm happy it's finally starting to get a little more heightened sensitivity. And that's where we're at with the yen. We're just watching it. It's on hold. All right, gold and precious metals goes up 1.5%, holding just below 5,100 after, hitting that milestone and record. Silver just went absolutely bonkers also. Crude oil is up 0.6%. No significant move in crude. Nothing really is going on. Key events today. Consumer confidence, sentiment check ahead of FOMC, and then we also have ADP employment weekly labor market pulse. That actually came out already. I'm going to turn around and give you the look on it in a second. Just want to get through this, then we're going to go and turn around and do the trading plan, because the trading plan piece is a little bit longer today. So I wanted to save time for it. So I'm going through the shorter list of actual news that matter this session. There's not as much. There's no one big main catalyst. Just slight small updates on the same old stuff. Nothing unusual. All right. Tomorrow's the big one. FOMC at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Expect contracted volatility in the morning. All right. The Fed is going to go and leave the rates as expected. It's already kind of baked into the probabilities. I don't think the Fed moves the rates, but the discussion's going to be interesting. Everyone's going to be watching to see if it's going to be a dovish or a hawkish Powell press conference, which way he's leaning towards, how he answers the questions. People are going to just pull out the microscope and have a look at what he's trying to say and analyze it and graph it and plot it. And yeah, that's tomorrow. You get to have fun too. 2 p.m. press conference, 2 p.m. release and 2:30 p.m. press conference. All right, that's kind of where we're at. Let's turn around and look at the charts. I'm now like 24 hours off of nicotine. I finally stopped again. I was off of it for 6 months. Then I made a really bad decision driving home from Florida. I'm driving away from home now. From Florida to Toronto. It was a drive, and I was kind of just tired, and I bought a vape, and it's been a month since I've continued to buy them. I'm finally done with it. It's coinciding kind of with like a stuffy cold that won't go away. Honestly, guys, I feel like total crap, but what makes me feel good is that you warm up my heart, and I'm excited to be here with you. Let's turn around and let's talk about the charts and the markets. The targets, I saw your video on level 3 data, specifically about how you could spot potential support and resistance based on breakdown of passive order sizes. You share these levels, please. Lewis, yes, I can. Like the levels for today, based on that. Let me move this out of the way. Yeah, JWFX, I do. I trade mostly futures. JWRFX. I'm mostly futures trading, and then I take profits and put it into a portfolio that I'm building. And just let it run. Just buy the dips. Yeah, Mikey, it really is. Honestly, it's just the first couple days, you're like, why am I doing this? But also, it's like, I don't want to keep doing it, you know? All right, let's talk about the trading plan, because this is where we're at part of the day. All right, trading plan is this. Like I said, I'm going to put it up for you guys just so you could see it, so we kind of read along. But I'm going to do it one section at a time. Hold on. I think it would be funny if we just do one section at a time. Like, I want you to read ahead, but I don't want you to really get too carried away. All right, so, all right. Here's the situation. The story overnight, or the story in the U.S. session yesterday, is the first story we get to tell. And really, it's the most important one that builds, everything else builds on that. So we open up at 69.59 here on the S&P 500. You can't see it because it's covered by the overnight range high, the 30-second high. But this is the open. You can actually see it here, the little yellow line peeking through. That's the opening price. Then we sold off down to 52, which is not much, 7-point sell-off. That forms a prior day low. That's all the selling off that we would get that day. We rally on upward in a pretty annoying type of tight bid, very low rotational movement. Tough to kind of trade at times, and for some people, I found a way to get myself into it as we made up into the 72. Somewhere in here, this was the pullback, this was my entry, and I got rid of it pretty quick. So really, I didn't get too much of the full range, but it was a pretty frustrating and tough day to trade. It was just a bid to the upside with very tight rotations, tough to get in. All right, we finally closed the 2-week gap at 69.78, not from this Sunday, the Sunday before it. All right, and then we picked up from there, shallow retest. 72.74 got the trade for me. Like I said, I went up, got off it pretty quickly because yesterday in the morning market update said focus on the initials, forget about the runners today on yesterday's session, because running these trades is going to be a little bit more difficult. It's just, look at it, right? It just goes up, it goes down, it cycles. It looks like such a weird chart day, and it was a tough one to trade. So I got off on the initial, like I said I would. Prior day high. We continue to rally upward. We set the prior day high at 69.9550 or half, which is here. And then we sell off. Let me move this a little bit. And then we sold off. Oh my God. These are the weirdest shortcut keys. All right. And then we sold off from that prior day high here into kind of the middle of the range, just still above the open and the open range. And prior day cash close is 80.5. All right. So we held the gains yesterday. The open was higher than the prior day. Everything was pretty bullish. Bullish advancement for the story of yesterday's U.S. session. All right. Well, what happened overnight then? Well, overnight we dipped below the prior day cash close, not by much. Overnight lows at 72 even. Cash close 80.5. So, not a big move below. And isn't it funny how it retested kind of the same price point and level that we entered on in the day? Well, it's not really funny because areas that we find for entry are high probability, low risk levels that's set up, and it's they're future support for a very long time. If you find the right levels and don't just get into trades willy-nilly, your entry levels end up also being support and resistances because you waited for them, you were patient, you found the right idea, right level. I found that interesting. Overnight low was literally where the entry was for the day. Made me feel like I should still be long, considering, right? Okay, so overnight low is there, and then we rally upward. Overnight high at 7,006 half. We finally break the resistance of 7,000, and then we curl back down to retest the prior day high. So we're through the psychological level of 7,000. All right, we're advancing upward. The open's higher. The overnight low is above the open. The prior day cash close was above the open. The prior day high is above the open. Overnight high is above the prior day high. And overnight low is above the prior day low. This is all good. The story is basically bullish. Here's some interesting stats. I'm going to look at some comments in 1 second. Then we do the trading plan. Since January 21st, all right, the low on January 21st was 68.1450. Okay, that's way down there compared to where we are now. All right, ES is now up 192 points in 4 trading days. All right, because January 21st, you say, well, that's 6 days now. It's a weekend, so it's 4 trading days. All right, since Sunday's Globex open low, we're up 127 and a half points. All right, January 13th is the last time all-time high at 70.36 half, and in just 2 weeks we're back within 30 points of that level after nearly a 200-point drop. All right, so the question here now is, did we get ahead of ourselves? I like the rally. I like everything. You guys know that the next 30 points to break an all-time high are going to be harder than the last 100 points. There's going to be more rotation, more failed tops potentially. All right, and the question here is, tomorrow's FOMC. All right, did we get ahead of ourselves? Well, the trading plan is based on the answer being yes. I quit vaping around 3 years ago. You could do it, man. Thank you, RDJXYZ Trades. You know what's funny, bro? I did quit from August, my son's birthday, all the way until December, late December too. So, you know, August, September, October, November, December. It was like 4 months. I was out of the woods, just, you know, made a bad decision. Here we are. Long time watching, haven't been for a while. How's the family? Feel better? Thank you. Marie Lisbon, everything is good. The family as well. I'm back to, obviously, TRADEPRO and doing this. I'm really excited to be with you guys. I'm just kind of a rough stretch, not feeling as great, just stuffed up. I feel good energy levels wise, but my whole face is just crushing itself from the inside out. But thank you. Triangle Trading Floor, good morning. FVB, George, just want to say thanks for the MBO videos, brother. Really helpful, and God bless your work. Hey, appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Really do. Such a nice message, and I appreciate it. Send you positive vibes. Blessings to you and yours, and I'm happy it's been helpful. Hopefully eye-opening and helpful as a tool. All right. Let's talk about the trading plan today then, because that's the last thing we got to talk about. The trading plan is this. Tomorrow's FOMC at 2 p.m. Eastern. So tomorrow morning is going to be slow. You know, we already know that. Unless there's a catalyst for it. If there's a lack of catalyst, it's going to be a lack of movement. Today would make sense to hedge out risk if you're worried about the Fed. If you're a big trader and you have a fund, today's like the last normal day to hedge out risk. Tomorrow's too late before the FOMC. There's not much to worry about, though, with this Fed event. That's the interesting part. There's no cut scheduled and just a press conference from Powell. So there isn't really any potential for things to go too sideways other than the press conference. Maybe he says something, but it's just saying things. You haven't done anything. You can't do anything. You're not going to do anything tomorrow. It's just talk. All right. So this is what we've done. 69.78/82 is the flip zone today. Anywhere above here, we're looking to buy weakness above the 80. All right. And then anything below that, we're looking to sell weakness on the way down. Supports on the way down that'll make good trading levels are 69.90 half. There's a lot of delta here and here. All right, next one, 69.81. Basically, 2 entries before we get into the. I don't know why I can't draw lines straight. There you go. It's a little better. 2 entries before we get into the flip zone, and below that, I don't know. I just get a sense we want some sell stops below that. All right, the targets to the upside are 7,006.50. That's the overnight high. That's target 1. Target 2 is 70.28. There's a big level up there. Target 3 is 70.36.50. I don't know if we get there today, but if we get extremely bullish, that could be a target. And we could see an all-time high. We're not that far from it. All right, the play on the fade side, last one, it looks kind of juicy at 70.12. It would make sense just to break and then catch a lot of resistance. If you look at why I like 70.12, take a look at this. Oh, you can't see that chart. Just the way I have it shared. And I can't really change it either, can I? Well, how about I do this? Now you can see it. All right, on a longer term time zone or time frame, and this isn't even a time frame chart, longer term range chart, which encompasses more price action. You can see as you get in these 12s, you got a lot of delta here, a lot of activity. Failed high before, failed high, the all-time high. It starts to get a little trappy in terms of territory, 712 to 20. So I'll say this, I'm bullish, but if we get a good fade setup, I'll take it. And today, more importantly than ever, you need to watch order flow because the order flow will confirm all of our questions. All right, I'm getting the sense we're going to have to ring some sell stops on the move lower first before moving higher at some point today. I just get that feeling. I get the feeling like it's just too easy. It's too easy to be long and hopeful. And when it feels like that, it's hard to be long because you know what happens after that. You know very well. All right, so I think early upside, maybe afternoon sell-off, or it could be a boring consolidation all day long. Those are the two possibilities. But I'm going to watch staying long above the 78, 79, 81 level. Below that, I'll flip to the bearish side, and I could fade the 12 if it gets up there. So that's the plan. Hopefully it makes sense. It actually sounds, it's easier than it sounds. It sounds more complex because my brain is stupid because it's lacking nicotine. But I'll get over it. Another day and a half or two, and I'll be on the other side. I'll invest. Yeah, the microphone works pretty well, right? Is it too loud? I see that it's peaking a little bit here, but digital peak adds a nice crispy distortion. It's not a real peak in levels. All right. Well, if that's all your questions, that's all of mine as well. The big question, we don't know yet. We never have the most important info. I wish you guys good luck today trading. The trading plan is set. Let's see how it pans out. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. And we will talk tomorrow about the Fed. If you want to trade it, what to do. If you don't want to trade it, what to do as well. And should you trade it? Are going to be the questions we talk about tomorrow. We'll set the stage for the FOMC event starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's tomorrow. Today, good luck, good trading. Love y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support.